These guys are in total and utter denial. It's terribly frightening listening to that idiot in Brussels.
Mr. Idiot in Brussels, would you like to respond?
No, I think that these words speak for themselves.
Okay.
Just one thing, this is not about being outside or inside the euro area. For instance, the UK in 2010 had a deficit which was exactly the same than Greece. So it's not the euro that's the problem. The euro is in fact a shield that has protected many of our economies, and that is a factor of stability and prosperity. We went through the most difficult crisis since the end of the Second World War, and all countries have experienced that.
Richard Lambert, you actually wanted us to join the euro at one point, didn't you?
Yeah, we felt back in the 90s that the euro was going to happen, whether Britain was part of it or not, that these were our major trading partners, and that the risks of going in were greater than the risk of staying out.
Yeah, but you were wrong.
The facts changed. The facts changed. I mean, what happened was the rules weren't obeyed. France and Germany broke the rules. The banks were undercapitalised. Massive capital imbalances across the euro area weren't fixed. And when the biggest financial shock in 100 years came along, the euro was in a bad place.
Can I just come in on this?
Of course
you were editor of the Financial Times during this period. It was predicted very, very clearly by a large number of people, Margaret Thatcher, William Hague, the Tory leader, who the FT sneered at day in and day out. The FT didn't give this story proper economic analysis. It saw it, it took the line of that idiot in Brussels that this is a political project, and even though you were a financial newspaper, you didn't apply economic analysis. You took the political view. And by the way, I've got a book, I brought a present for you when I heard you were coming on this programme, Guilty Men. You're one of them, and I suggest you read it. It analyses the performance. It goes on with it analyses the performance of the Financial Times.
Can I ask him a question?
Yeah.
Guilty men was a phrase used by Michael Foot in 1940.
In 1940, and it was about
people who
appeasers, wasn't
appeased
it?
the Nazis.
Yeah.
In your view, is Chancellor Merkel, is President Barroso, are they today's equivalent of the Nazi party?
You are one of a group of people who, had you had your way, we would now be in the position of Greece. We'd be taking orders from the EU and the IMF. Britain's economic security would have been destroyed. Our political independence would no longer exist if the Financial Times had had its way.
Do we want to go on like this, or should we talk about what's happening now? Do we want to go
Let's talk about Greece.
Yeah.
Do you accept that it is now likely that Greece will fall out of the euro?
I think it is likely, yes. I think, personally, I feel that the numbers now are impossible to manage. And it seems to me there are a number of scenarios. On the one hand, I think the extreme positions, namely a collapse of the euro, is very unlikely because the economic and political consequences would be a disaster. I think a fiscal union is very unlikely. The question is it possible to get an orderly way of getting Germany and Greece to withdraw from the Eurozone? Is it possible to do that? I think it might be, and I think it's something that...
Getting Germany to withdraw from the Eurozone?
No, getting Germany to support Greece in a withdrawal.
In withdrawal?
Yeah, because they would need massive liquidity, massive support for their banks.
What's the received wisdom? I know it changes from day to day in the markets, but go on, what is it as of now about Greece's future?
Well, I think actually if Greece was actually to withdraw from the euro, that would be potentially extremely destabilising because of the impact that would have on the Greek banking system. I think there is certainly need to restructure the debt, but our hope would be that they could restructure their debt without having to leave the euro, because I think that would really massively increase the chances of contagion to the rest of Europe if that was to happen.
Unless it were possible for the ECB and for Germany to provide fiscal support and liquidity.
I think those fire breaks can help if Greece is restructuring its debt.
Yeah,
I don't know if
they
can
help.
I don't think if they can help necessarily to offset the consequences of Greece leaving the euro. I think that might be a fire that's just too big to
And Peter Oborne, you think that Greece will fall out?
Well, it's inevitable that the Greeks will fall, and of course it's enormously in the Greek interest to get out of the euro, because the moment it does, it will be able to be competitive. And one of the points which nobody's quite made here is the total inhumanity of the euro. The euro is destroying the livelihoods of millions of Greek businesses, millions of Greek people.
Well, we're going to hear a bit from Greece and some of the human consequences.
And what the euro elite, this idiot in Brussels...
Will you stop referring to me as this idiot? That is just offensive.
No, he is. You listen to the low quality, the catastrophic quality of his economic analysis.
You may think that he's out of contact with reality. That does not mean he's now walking out of the studio in Brussels. Well done. We can't even hold him to account now. Because you've just been gratuitously offensive to it.
Well, unfortunately, listening to this man talking such nonsense over a matter of such importance which affects the lives of millions and millions of people, and listening to that nonsense, it's offensive to decent people who want jobs.